Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Demo Day with Splat. My name is Brett, and I'm a little late. I had a little trouble getting set up here, and I think I forgot to set the title again. But in the stream today, I'm going to go over some of the work I've been doing this week on creating a trading bot to work on Pancakeswap so that we can trade the Super Algos token on a distributed exchange instead of on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance or one of the others that you're used to. Part of this is to, one, be able to actually trade the token that everybody gets as compensation or as reward for contributing to the project. The other part of it is this is a pretty good exercise, at least for me, to figure out everything that's involved in running a project, interacting with a chain, smart chain, something like Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, and what it would take to get something like that into Super Algos itself. So that's really the end goal, is being able to add Pancakeswap, Uniswap, SushiSwap, any of the others, 1inch, I don't know, think of another one. Add those all into Super Algos also and allow you to trade without a centralized exchange. Sorry, I'm trying to set the title here. I'm not sure if this is going to actually take effect. I may just have to edit it after the fact. On Pancakeswap. So let's set that. Done, updated, hopefully. So here's where I am. I forked from another project to get started with a little bit of, I guess before I get there, forgot to do my beer introduction. Today I'm drinking Alien Shake Ambrosia, which is a milkshake IPA with coconut, extra vanilla, marshmallow, orange, cherry, and pineapple. And it is delicious. Definitely a little bit on the sweet side. Very fruity, a lot of coconut coming through. But it's absolutely delicious. So cheers. Another Tired Hands beer. Anyway, back to the bot. Started with another project just to kind of get my bearings, use an example. And that's kind of what the whole open source world is all about. Look through a bunch of different examples, tons of Google searching to figure out exactly what was needed. And where I ended up is that it's maybe possible to use Web3 and Ethereum JS. And it looks like there are some projects that have been able to do that. But it looks like the majority of projects that I was looking through that were successful in doing active swaps on Pancakeswap, we're using a project called ethers.js. Look that up again for you. Go. Ethers. So this project, at least in terms of working with Pancakeswap, seems to be the best from what I've seen. Excuse me. The documentation seems to be pretty decent. Of course, it's fully written for working with Ethereum, but apparently Binance Smart Chain is more or less a fork of Ethereum. It uses a lot of the same code, I guess, behind the scenes, and all the same functions essentially work the same. I guess that's why it's BEP20 instead of ERC20 as the type of token. But their documentation is actually pretty good too. And they have a Discord. I hopped in there to ask a couple questions today. And I think I may be getting somewhere with it. But the state of the bot right now is that purchases work, buying works, and selling does not yet. So that's what I'm hoping to figure out. Let's change over to VS Code here. So I also found a pretty cool, by using this example project, found a neat command line formatting library called Chalk, which lets you set up different colors and stuff like that for your text, which is pretty cool. And .env, which allows us to create a .env file and then copy that in, it reads it in so that you don't necessarily have to export everything in your environment first. It'll just read the .env file, and then you can set up all your configuration variables based off of that. Oh, it looks like I am a little bit off the screen here. Let's bring this over. That looks better. So we have a whole bunch of variables that we have to set up as our config. And then we have some special things that we have to do to set up our wallet. One of them is setting your mnemonic, which is the seed phrase for your wallet. So if you're using, you have Trust Wallet set up already because you've already got some tokens and you've already done some trading on Pancakeswap or whatever, you can use that exact same wallet here in this trading bot. We set up a WebSockets node, and then we configure our BNB. So this is basically set up to trade BNB for super algos in our case. And then we just basically set up these connections to connect to the chain and to connect our wallet and set up our contracts for, not exactly sure what the factory is. Haven't fully figured that out yet, but the router is Pancakeswap v2. This is a Pancakeswap factory. And then the Ether contract is just setting up, or ERC, this is just setting up the BNB contract. Let me get into the meat and potatoes here. So this bot that I cloned was originally just what they were calling a sniping bot, where it tries to detect any brand new coins, any new tokens that are coming onto the chain or setting up liquidity in Pancakeswap, and essentially trying to front run everybody, get in there, start trading the coin first, and then essentially waiting for others to get in behind there and hopefully sell the coin later for profit. So this is kind of the main thing. You can see we have run, which just basically says check liquidity. And this does a bunch of things to make sure that the coin is actually there, that we have our pair, our liquidity pool. And then it checks to see if we're ready to start buying, sets up the buy action. And then I've added in this extra section down here to get it to start selling, hopefully. And then a process exit, just because I'm still testing. I just want it to exit as soon as it's done, one buy and one sell. Later, obviously, the idea is to have it keep looping and continuously buy and sell. The idea is going to be super simple. For right now, I'm just setting up essentially a 5-minute wait in between each action. So found a super simple sleep function. Essentially just sets a timeout in milliseconds. I've got it set to 5 minutes right now. And obviously, like I said, this is just proof of concept and just to kind of get some trading volume out there. But yeah, we get into our buy function back up here. Set up the amounts of way, or I don't know what they call it in the finance world, but basically the quantity of the token that you want to buy, kind of in an Ethereum. Basically, I think it's like times 10 to the 8th or something. Or 16th, maybe it's 10 to the 18th. Either way, but it sets it up to be a huge number instead of just being, like I want to trade one BNB. You're trading, 1 million way or whatever it is. You can set up configure the amount of slippage that you want. It does a little calculation to figure out how much you're swapping for. And then it does the actual buy. Sets up some fancy things to put out to the console so you know what's happening. And then we do the swap ETH for tokens function. Excuse me. Where we actually set up the transaction. Setting up our gas price, our gas limit, and then we wait for that transaction to happen. And then this part down here, I'm trying to figure out exactly how much it actually traded for. Because obviously there could be a little bit of slippage. So whatever and this is an amount minimum, so we may actually get a little bit more. And so what I would like to do is get exactly how much we did trade out and return that at the end of the function. Then I can pass that in to the sell action and basically do the reverse. But I'm thinking I should be able to essentially just reverse the base and the quote. I haven't gotten to actually testing this yet. And then again, do the swap ETH for tokens, but have our quote and base swapped. And hopefully get the amount of data that we, amount of BNB back out that we want. So that's it. Essentially, hopefully will be super simple. The trouble I was having earlier was trying to figure out exactly how to get the total amount traded. So if we look at, going back to our browser share here, BscScan.com. Yep. I think we can look up Pancakeswap. just find a transaction here. Swap tokens for exact tokens. So this is similar. Transferred tokens. Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of what I was hoping to get out. So if you haven't used BscScan before, this is exactly the same as etherscan.io, where you can see transactions and all the information. You can see from and to and how much value. This is a little bit small for screen there. And here too. So etherscan shows you information about the transactions. It's just for basically browsing the Ethereum chain. BscScan, product of etherscan, the exact same thing. Excuse me. Where you're just browsing the chain, you have your transaction, you can see from and to, and then the coins that were swapped. And so I'm hoping that with our super algos, see if I can find super algos token here. I think these were actually me. So we have our transaction. You can see that we swapped 0.001 BNB for 11.22 and change super algos tokens. I'm trying to figure out how to get this number to be an output of the buy, return of the buy. And then on the reverse side, I want the BNB to be the return of the sell. It would also be neat to export or show in the console the transaction fee, just so you can kind of account for yourself to see how much money you have. And then another idea that I had was, and it shouldn't be that difficult, it's actually checking your wallet, making sure that you have not run out of money, and essentially run this until you have run out of money. But I guess another thing, another reason why this just kind of popped up this week is the CoinMarketCap website stopped showing information for Super Algos token because they have a limit of 1,000. I think it was $1,000 of volume over the week. That you need to be above in order for them to actually list your coin and show all the data for it. So for a while, all of our information just kind of stopped being shown. The Super Algos information just kind of stopped. And the Trust wallet stopped showing the dollar value, the conversion value. And I think that was all related to CoinMarketCap kind of dropping the token for a little bit because we didn't have enough trading volume. But anyway, hopefully with this bot and getting it into Super Algos itself, everybody will be able to trade the token in a much easier way. And the volume will pick up and everybody will be happy. So from there, one thing that I was being told to do, we're told to look into, is, oh nice, we got a spam bot. Cool. Anyway, one thing that the people in the Ethers JS channel was all right. Telling me to, well, if you're not a bot, welcome to the channel, and thanks for your comments. Cool. They were telling me that if I set up the router contract, this ABI function properly, then these functions should return the exact data that I'm looking for. And so I just need to figure out exactly, I'm not showing it to you. Keep forgetting to swap over. In the router, this middle variable is the ABI, as far as I can tell. Obviously still trying to learn this library and everything that's going on. But this, I should be able to pull the ABI from the actual contract that Pancakeswap has set up when they created their application, essentially. And so I just need to kind of find that and figure out if I'm missing a function that I may need or need to add on something to get the value out of this function when it's done, instead of trying to fish through logs and trying to hunt down the data itself. So one of the things that I was trying to see is this receipt that we get back doesn't have these values, these tokens transferred at the top level. I did see, clicking through here, going through these logs, that they do have the amounts in one of these logs. And when you get the transaction back, the receipt back from the transaction, it's given to you as this hex value, which you then have to convert to get these decimals out of it. And I was, I guess, erroneously trying to hunt through how to pull this out of the logs. And so now I need to figure out how to get this out of the ABI, or set up the ABI properly to get me this value right out of the function. So here we go. Now that I've gone through that lengthy introduction of where I am and why I'm there, I did not already go through that. How do you search the BscScanner website with your super algo signature? So how you get your wallet address is, if you're using Trust Wallet, which I don't have it, I don't even know if they have a browser extension or not. I guess I can show it here. I have, what is this wallet? I can't remember. I think I was playing around with Solana the other day and decided to try this. Oh, I guess you can't even see it. But anyway, I don't have it. I don't have a way to show it to you in the browser. But if you go to your Trust Wallet in your application in your phone, and you click on something like Receive, and just select a coin, like the Super Algos token, you'll see a QR code, and it will have a wallet address at the bottom of it that essentially looks like this right here. So this is my actual wallet address. And you can copy that and send it to yourself. When you're plugging it into, so I have an environment template file here. When you're setting up the variables to use this bot, you're going to need your address, like I was just talking about. So mine is this. And I can see that in my Trust wallet. The mnemonic, you should have saved when you were first creating your Trust wallet. And I can't remember if you create your wallet in SuperAlgos when you're creating your profile. If you have SuperAlgos create the address for you. I can't remember if they give you a mnemonic or if you just get the private and public keys. I'll have to look into that. But once you import that wallet into something like Trust Wallet, you should then be able to view your mnemonic. I think you can go through, let me look through this again. I think there's a way to go through the settings and do a couple of extra steps to ensure that it is you that is trying to look at these settings. Show recovery phrase. Yeah. All right. So let me show that. I can't really show it, but I'll describe it to you. So in Trust Wallet, you hit settings at the bottom and then wallets. I have multi-coin wallet 1. And then click on the 3 little dots to the side. You'll get to was public and private key. Okay. So maybe I'll have to modify this then too to be able to allow the public and private keys. But anyway, I think once you import it into Trust Wallet, it should give you a mnemonic also. So one of the things that they say is if you lose access to this device, your funds will be lost unless you back it up. So you need to have this recovery phrase to be able to use this wallet somewhere else and get access to essentially your address on the Ether BSC network. And once you authenticate and say like, yes, I understand, it'll show you the 12 words that essentially created your wallet. And you can copy and save that. I suggest saving that in something like 1Password or another encrypted keychain type thing. And it's good to have so that if you do need to open it up in a browser or you want to use it with something like this, you can have access to it. So anyway, to test this, you will need your address, which again, for me, is this one here. And so you can see all the transactions that I've done. And your address is also fully public on the chain. We can see all the transactions you do. We don't necessarily know it's you, but then again, your address, I believe, is also linked to your SuperAlgos account or your profile for governance. And so, yeah, we basically can follow you. So, I don't know, don't do illegal things with your account, maybe, like Silk Road. I just saw a documentary on the Silk Road, and so that's top of mind for me right now. It was pretty interesting. I wish I could remember the name of it right now, but it was definitely worth looking up, and maybe in the comments or something I'll post it once I remember what the name of the documentary was. So where was I? So I want to try and find this ABI. Let me pull up did I lose no, I'm still here. Ethereum basics. I just want to highlight what this ABI is so everybody else is on the same page as me. Excuse me, here. Example ERC20 contract. Where is it? So this is that transaction waiter function, and here's the output of it. And this is a little bit different than what we see from Pancakeswap, but it's very similar. So you get should have a transaction hash, which is where you can search for this transaction hash on the scanner. The exact same in here. Gives you your from address and the contract address, which would be like Ethereum or Binance Coin. I think. Unless that's the Pancakeswap. Yeah, so this, sorry, I missed it. This is the human readable ABI. And there's more to it. So in here, I believe that these functions are defined by Pancakeswap, which is a fork of Uniswap. And so they essentially have the same functions. And so in one example, I found that if you go to like the Pancakeswap router, you click on contract, they have this contract ABI, and it's a huge JSON. But what I've seen other bots do is download this in raw JSON format. I guess it's not that big. Essentially save this, create a new file. Pancakeswap.json. And then they essentially load this in to a variable and then use that as this section. Let me see if I can find the example I was looking at with that. It was probably on let's see. No, this isn't what I want to look at. So some people use this Pancakeswap libs SDK. Don't know if I necessarily need that. But when it's not the one I wanted to look at. So they have the ABIs Where did they bring in the ABIs? Guess maybe they left that out. Retrieve ABI token in. That's interesting. I haven't seen that. Hmm. I don't know. I can't find the page that I was looking at before. But it looks like there's a bunch of people looking for help on doing these sniper bots. Trying to do the same thing. They weren't doing a file sync. They were doing like a require directory, and then that was just bringing it in. This is what they were doing. Require path to file name. Alright, so what was in... So looking back at VS Code here. So this was the JSON that just copied out, pasted in here. I wonder if I need to modify this at all, or if it just works as is. I don't think that this... So what I would need... This has the function. I don't think this has... Oh, it does. Swap ETH for exact tokens. And specifies the outputs. Amounts. I think that's what I would want. Or no, sorry, that's a type. No. Swap exact tokens for ETH. So that I probably need for the buy. I mean, yeah, for the sell. So I swap ETH for exact tokens, and then I want to swap tokens for... I don't think I have that in here. This seems to be different. Journal payable returns, memory amount. I have a feeling I'm going to mess this up if I do this. Doesn't have any functions in it. Oh, I guess it does. Type function. Maybe this will work. It kind of looks like... We go back. So I was looking at this. Back to head track. Okay, so they essentially copied and let me just copy and paste this in because this looks better. That looks better. Try and search here. Nope, this is still ABI retrieve ABI token in. I don't know what that retrieve ABI is. This I want to use to get the balance of the wallet. And I don't know, I'm not being very productive in this video, am I? Feel as though I'm kind of lost. I'm trying to find my way. So what I'm trying to do is at the end of my buy action, because there could be slippage in the transaction, I want to be able to output or return at the end of the buy exactly how much, in our case, Super Algos tokens were purchased. So then when I go to sell, I put that exact same quantity as my sell quantity and then buy BNB from that. And I think I need to tweak the sell action a little bit also, because what I was banking on is that I could use this exact same swap ETH for exact tokens function, but just reverse. So here well, let me get down to it. Oh, I'm fully not showing you the code again. So what I wanted to do, I'll go over this again because I wasn't showing you. I put in on my buy action, I want to output or return the total amount of Super Algos token, in our case, that was actually purchased. And the reason why I think I need to get it from the exact transaction is because there could be slippage during the transaction. So when I say that I have an amount out minimum that I'm calculating based on the amount, at this point in time, the exact exchange rate between the two tokens, it may be slightly different by the time the actual transaction is processed and by the time it's confirmed by the other nodes on the network. So it's possible that the actual amount bought is slightly different than just doing a straight up conversion and saying like, this is, this is the exchange rate, boom. But then I want to return that and input it into my sell action. So I can say, I just bought 11 Super Algos tokens, and now I want to sell 11 Super Algos tokens, hopefully at a higher price, and get more BNB back. And then hopefully at the end of the sell, output how much BNB I just bought or sold for. Return that into the buy function again and just keep looping. So that is the problem that I'm trying to solve, is how do I get the output of the transaction? Oh, and here's the USDT ABI. All right, so what I saw, maybe I'll do it this way. I'll make an ABI folder, put Pancakeswap in there. I guess another thing I could have done is Pancakeswap and then ABI, but either way, I need to do a, how do they do it? Constant. That should do that. And then I think I need that down here on the BCS ABI. And just tidy this up a little bit. And that looks good to me. What was that other function? The swap exact token for ETH. I think that's the one that I wanted as my sell function. Instead of swap exact ETH for tokens, I'm hoping that's the exact same thing, but doing the reverse. And I do not have my .environment set up. So let me swap back over to my browser so you all can't see what I'm about to do. New terminal. And I need to open up 1Password. Make sure it's not showing you exactly what I'm doing. Wallet address. Onic. Have everything else set up. I can close that. I can close that. Now I can change back to VS Code. And hopefully you don't see what I just did. All right, so now we can test by typing in node bot. Oh. And PMCI, of course. Gotta install the packages first. Node.js import JSON. Experimental JSON module. Read and parse the JSON. I have CommonJS. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to just JSON parse. Thought that was the cool new way to do it. Maybe I just have something messed up with my environment. Excuse me. I don't know. I wish I could find that example that I was looking at before. Well, yeah, that's what they're. Nope. Nope, doesn't like that. Alright, I'll just have to read it in and JSON parse it, I guess. Unknown file extension. Do it the old-fashioned way. I don't think I want that. URL file. Oh, nope. Oh yeah, I could do that. Put it in a JS file as a variable, import that and import it here. I could do that. Or I could give that a try. I swear that this other, and I really wish I probably have it on my laptop that I was working on earlier. This other project that I was looking at was downloading these on the fly and then importing them. That's what I was hoping to do instead of having to include this JSON file in the repo. I don't understand why this isn't working. Sorry. Or some object from some JSON file. Maybe it's because they put it in brackets. Unexpected token. Of course. Or JSON data from JSON file. That's what they have shown. And but we omit.json, it should also work. As module scope. Oh, I think because I changed this type to be module earlier. Because there was another package that wasn't working with it. I think one of these other packages wasn't working. Ah, come on. Maybe all these don't need the brackets. Statically somewhere fetch it. Yeah. I was planning on I think this was it. Said change to require of index.js to a dynamic import. For chalk. What it was talking about. Can I mix these? The dynamic import. Node.js dynamic port. Oh, maybe this is it. Oh, chalk. Oh, that worked. Chalk blue is not a function. Hmm. Now I'm back to debugging this. Chalk 5 is ESM, which we have. A reusable module, import chalk from chalk. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, I don't know. Something screwy. DJ, I don't want to. Right, module. I don't know. I'll change it back. So that's where I got right module. Then of course I run this and I can't require ethers. From .env. And then I'm back to port. And doesn't like my JSON import again. And this is that same page I was looking at. Import. No file name or dir name. Import meta URL. Okay. So I have to do it. Module create require. Okay. So that solves that, I guess. I do need the import meta URL. I hate semicolons at the end of my lines because it makes me think of when I used to work in PHP. Hey, it's working. Oh, showing you what's going on. So this is what I have outputted right now as my return, which is a 64-bit decoded log file data. And then I can see my transaction still processing. But anyway, that's my buy. There it goes. Nine blocks confirmed. So the buys work. Still trying to figure out how to get this, the amount of SA passed in. But that's really cool that importing our ABI just worked. Was that the exact same? Which contract is this? That's the ABI. That is for which, is this the Pancakeswap ABI, the coin? Contract address from SA. Okay. Sorry, not showing you what I'm looking at here. So this is, that's the token ABI, or that's the, oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think you are correct, but I don't think that's what I'm looking for. I think this Pancakeswap JSON did work out exactly as I expected it to, except my output I still need to work on. Get it to output the actual amount instead of this decoded data. So if I console log my receipt, and I don't think this needs to be logs1 transaction hash. I think I get, I think it can just be dot transaction hash. So if I run this again, going to burn, I'm not showing you my code again. I need to get one of those push button scene changers. And then I return, well, for right now, a receipt. But that's not what I want to return. delete those 2 lines because that's not what I want yet. And I think the guy, howdy, formal foundation. Welcome. What I'm looking for is the swap exact ETH for tokens, which is this. And I was hoping it would say ability function. Nice. Thanks. Yeah, trying to learn JavaScript here, Node.js, and Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain programming, and I'm out of beer. On to water, unfortunately. So anyway, trying to learn what in the world is going on with trying to do transactions on a distributed exchange. Huh. Got more in the fridge behind me. I just don't feel like getting up. So I was hoping that the swap ETH for tokens would just output. Go back to the browser here. So this is the transaction that we just did. And I'm hoping that I'd be able to just get this amount of Super August tokens back out. And let me check my wallet. Definitely have 11 more Super August tokens. So this time I will output the receipt and see what body we get. Well, actually, that's coming from the TX weight. I output the TX. I don't know. Let's output the receipt first. Let's see what we get. I guess a good console log. I could always put in a breakpoint too. I don't know why I'm not doing that. But let's just see what we get. Oh, here. Maybe that is what we want. So on the transaction, we get a value big number. And I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Is big number true? And then the second JSON body here, or dictionary, or hash, or I don't know, whatever other languages call it. You have your to and from. You have your transaction ID. See, we have our transaction hash here. So this doesn't need to be logs1 transaction hash. It should be able to just do that. Get the exact same thing. because this is the same as that. But yeah, then in terms of the logs, this is that data body X. Which when we come in here to logs, we can see these are the amount in and the amount out. We have our hex and our decimal. And so this is what was, oh, there, amount in, uint, 256. Amount out, sorry. But anyway, I'm hoping that now I can get tx.value. Big number hex is big number. So I should be able to tx.value. And there are helper functions. So if we go back here, we want the API, and we want utilities, and we want the big number methods. I think there's a decoder that I was looking at before. Oh, that's what ABI stands for, the application binary interface. Of course. Decoding data. Transaction. No, I don't think that's what I want. So I think that there is a default ABI decode that I was trying to use before. Doesn't look like it has it in this area though. What I was just looking at. API coder. Default ABI coder. Dot decode. That's probably what I want. This is what I was thinking of. Big number data. So if my TX type What do I want the output type to be? I don't know. Give this a try. So I think I want the ethers. ABI utils. ABI coder. Dot lowercase. Hmm. Uint string. I guess. Give it a try. Give that a try. See if we can decode the TX value this time. Nope. We need. See if I can just log the TX value without. Is big number true? Feel like there's a way to do this that I already use other places. So like the parse ether. Wonder if there's something. No results. Man, the search on this is freaking terrible. Ether. Yes. So this is what turns a regular number into an Ethereum number of like a large way value. Format ether. I think that's what I want. Format ether, the equivalent to calling format units. I think that's what I want. I wonder if that will work ether dot utils dot format ether. And then here I want to log my buy value. Let's return my buy value, assuming that this works. Nope. Utility. There's JS decode big number hex. Arrayify. Big number of an arrayish object. Big numbers. All right, so this is old documentation, but I should be able to search for big numbers in here. Big number. Outside the range, the big number is an object. So we were returning. Oh, that's cool though. I got to. Oh, okay. So that was on the cell side that I blew up. Okay, so that did work. But the value is not what I was expecting. That's the number of BNB that we bought. That's not, I mean, that we were swapping. That's not the amount of SA that we swapped for. Okay, so it's not that value. But that did work. I'll have to remember that format ethers for later. So I guess we do need it on the confirmation from the receipt. The only place that I know of where that value is shown is in this last log. Data. So I'm back to that. All right. I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. So we did learn one thing, that I can use format ether to turn a big number back into a regular number, human readable. So there's that. And we did get into our cell function, but it blew up, complaining that invalid value for array online to tell us value. That's our, excuse me, version contracts. I must have passed in a wrong. Sorry, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. So we blew up with the error. We started to sell. Yeah, so this is all backwards and wrong. And then it blew up. And hopefully it didn't actually create. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to double check the transactions on the BscScan, BscScan. So yeah, I'll read into this. I'll try and figure out again how to get the actual value of superalgos, but this sort of worked in a way, but it didn't give us the proper value that we were looking for. Got a little bit further. Not too much. Argument. So, yeah. Okay. Almost there. We'll get the cells working eventually. And then hopefully we'll get this into the superalgos bot itself very soon. So, that's it for me for the night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for chatting along. If you want to look more, signing off here, check out superalgos on GitHub. Check in on Telegram and Discord if you have questions, want to chat, want to learn more about how to get started, and follow superalgos on Twitter, Facebook. There's a Reddit group, subreddit. Feel free to join up. Lots of news about superalgos posted there. And that's it for me. Again, I'm Splat, Brett Taylor. I will catch you next week. Have a good holiday, everybody. Get you on the flippy floppy.